today we're going to be talking about the second episode of Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist. So this episode was really surrounded by Zoey and Max and their need to get it in. It was more so Zoey. She was very, very aggressive about it. It was actually kind of funny. I've never seen that kind of side to her, or knew that she kind of had that side to her. Well, I guess technically when she was singing to Simon, when she called Simon over and mounted him, I guess that kind of gave us just a little bit of an inkling of what she's like when she's in that mode. But she was really blunt about it in this episode. I saw a lot of comments in the promos and things like that about her saying that Max was a distraction, and that them being sad that she chose Max, or she's with Max at this time, just to distract herself from everything going on with her grief and everything else. Now, it did sound that way. I was hoping that maybe they cut the promo so that it looked like that's what she was saying, but really they were talking about something else. But when the actual episode came on, that is exactly what they were talking about. She was talking about them kissing, and all of that was a good distraction from everything that she's been going on with. Now, hopefully, I was upset about that because Max deserves more than to be a distraction, and I was hoping that she would elaborate or something or other more than that to mean that Max meant more than her than a simple distraction. It didn't seem to bother Max at all, I guess because he was getting at least some of what he wanted, so it didn't seem to bother him at all. He was perfectly fine with being a distraction. Didn't bother him one bit. In the beginning of the episode, it was funny because Maggie actually interrupted them while they were making out, and it gave me Mean Girl vibes as she offered them some popcorn in case they got hungry or something like that. So I thought that was really funny. I also think it's weird that she lives at home, but she still pays for her apartment. I guess she's in a lease or whatever, but she was been staying at her mom's house for at least 2 months. But I mean, if she has the money to spend on her apartment, and I understand her needing to be with her mom and be with her family, so that also does make perfect sense at the same time. So I'm glad that she was actually able to do that, and that they also had a separate place to go to so that they can actually be alone. Meanwhile, they can't because Mo is singing this opera song. So while they're trying to find a way to be together and Zoey keeps trying to get off work early, she's having to ignore the fact that something is going on at work with Leaf. Leaf isn't able to keep his team under control. They don't have any respect for him. They're doing whatever they want, and he has to try to find a way to get them to work and do what they're supposed to do. He's also feeling bad because the whole blowing up situation of the Squircle, what is it? The Square, I forgot the name of the place, but their watches were blowing up. So, and it was funny because in the video, the guy's like, in the video, he's like, it's the watch, it's the Squircle, whatever it is, square point, I can't remember, but he was like, it's the so-and-so watch series 3. He was super detailed in that video that they were watching, and I thought that was so funny. At the same time, we do get a little bit backstory, but it still wasn't enough backstory between Emily and her sister. Emily started singing Poison when her sister came into town when she was in the house, and it was a great number. It was awesome. And, you know, Zoey told her mom, hey, you're going to have to watch out for them too. But they really didn't go into detail as to exactly what's the issue with her sister. I mean, they talked about it a little bit. Her sister wanted to come down there to help, but didn't really know exactly what to do to help. And then Emily says, you know, offhand that, you know, you can have the most fun in the world with her, but you're going to be left with, you know, the pieces, you know, afterwards. But I just feel like they could have went in deeper regarding their relationship, regarding exactly what happened. I don't know. I felt like I really didn't know the dynamic between the two and why she really didn't want her around. She seemed to want to be there. I don't know. It wasn't enough information for me. I could have done with more information regarding that. So this episode also touches on Max and Mo. They're making a app together, or they're actually building a restaurant together. I feel like just completely building a restaurant together is just so completely entirely random. I'm not sure what Mo's job is, but I don't remember or recalling it have anything to do with running a restaurant or apps or anything like that. So I think it's kind of weird that he even needs to go into business with Mo. I'm not sure what Mo is even bringing to the business at all. Maybe I need to go back and watch or look up what Mo's job is and what Mo does for a living, because quite honestly, I don't understand why there's even a partnership in the first place. I don't think Max has any idea of what it takes to open up a restaurant. I thought he was just a coder. I don't understand. Are they making an app for restaurants, or they're making a restaurant for their app? I really don't understand what's going on. I'm kind of confused about that, or why they would even go into a venture they have no idea how to run. I don't know. That kind of confused me a lot. I don't know if anyone else is confused about that, but I am. And Mo started acting really weird when Max brought up a contract for them to sign. I thought that he just didn't want to be tied down, or didn't want to be in a contract, or felt like maybe Max was trying to play him. I don't know what exactly was going on. So then later on, when Max and Zoey at her place and they are trying to get it in again, Mo starts playing this loud opera music, and I was just so mad. I'm like, come on, they were this close. Zoey goes to see what's the matter, and Mo is singing Goodbye by Sam Smith, I believe. And Mo is actually singing to the contract. But it was a curveball that Mo was singing that not because he was worried about Max and a contract with Max. It's because he knew that he had been a bad person in the past. I was not expecting that at all. And that he was worried that he could ruin his relationship with Max and his relationship with Zoey by possibly, being a selfish person. And he didn't want to get into anything like that, knowing himself. And I think that takes a lot to know that about yourself, and to stay away from environments when you know that you may not be, a good person regarding that, or that you could possibly be working on that. And while you are working on it, because you know yourself and you don't want to hurt anyone, you completely stay away from those situations. So I think that was really big on his part, to acknowledge, to say, and to also stay away from. So I thought that was very interesting. And that was a very interesting plot line. So regarding the issue at work, Zoey decides to invite the women that she saw in the elevator to work on the 4th floor, which I don't understand either. I thought the 4th floor and the 5th floor were like different departments or something of that sort, or they were like fighting against each other. I'm not sure exactly what happens on all the floors, or if they're all the same thing, if they all do the same thing or something like that. I thought maybe they were just completely different, but I do remember when Max was on the 5th floor that he was working on the same app as the 4th floor, but it was just kind of confusing that she would even be able to poach the girls from the 5th floor and move them down to the 4th floor. I don't know, but either way, it worked out. They're ready to work. They're ready to get with it. They're not trying to play any games. So that's perfectly fine. Now the other boys have to go up to the 5th floor. So that situation was fixed. She was able to go ahead and fix that. There wasn't a lot of Simon, but he does actually get promoted in a funny scene with their boss, where Zoey is like kind of just moving this giant screen around so he can see everybody, and he makes Tobin, dismisses Tobin from the room and everything. That was a really funny scene as well. So finally, Zoey and Max are alone at her mom's house. Everyone is gone, and they are about to get into the situation. And Max is like, okay, I went to a open-minded therapist, and we actually thought about something that would help with the heart songs. So he starts singing Let's Go Out to the Ball Game, the baseball song, and I'm just like, I thought that he was doing that so there wouldn't be anything prematurely happen. So I thought he was trying to stay focused or anything like that, so he could, have some endurance. But that wasn't the case. He was singing that song on purpose because he didn't want to sing his heart songs, which I'm like, but wouldn't that be worse? Well, I guess he was able to, if he could focus on singing that song, then he can focus on taking off clothes and kissing everything else. If he just focus on that and not how he feels. But then it gets interrupted by I'll Make Love to You. This was so funny. Like, oh my God, I was not ready or prepared. He kept going back and forth and back and forth. So then Zoey says that she actually does want to hear the heart songs and it makes them feel more connected. Then Max says that it's hard that she gets to know everything that he's feeling, but he doesn't get to know what she's feeling. She tells him that it's not just about being with someone, because she could be with anybody. It's specifically that she's being with Max, and that's what's important, and that is what is so special. And I was like, oh, so he's not just a distraction. That makes me feel so much better that it's specifically him. It's about being with him. He's the one. And then he starts singing his song, and then she starts singing back, and they do like a real time where you hear the music and everything, and then it goes to her and there's no music and he's just watching her, and the look on his face, I wish somebody looked at me the way that he was looking at her. And he's just like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm duetting with you because I feel the same way. It was so sweet. I can't remember what song that they were duetting. Hold on. A moment like this, some people wait a lifetime. I just warmed my heart. I rewinded it a million times because it was just so sweet. So sweet. And that just made my heart so happy. This was such a good episode. It's always such a good episode. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the episode. What was your favorite part of the episode? In the description, how did you feel about Max? How did you feel about Zoey? How do you feel about Emily? Whatever, just let me know. I want to have a conversation. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay sane, and have a wonderful rest of your day.